Well, the Lancaster Barnstormers are to the point now where they're in the eighth inning and trailing, and that's not tonight's ball game. That's sort of an analogy as to where they are in the standings. They can still come back by winning the last two of this 7-game series against the Sugar Land Skeeters. And if the Barnstormers can take the last two, they're alive and well. Just one, and the remaining series is going to be a struggle. The Barnstormers almost certainly would have to sweep the Road Warriors over the 4th of July holiday span coming up this week. And if the Barnstormers, of course, lose these next two, it's over as far as any dreams are concerned to win the first half. It's been just an absolutely positively tough go here at Sugar Land this week. The Barnstormers have run into a team that has played exceedingly well in every aspect of the game, and the Barnstormers have not, and they know it. They have the starting pitching has struggled. Last night, the bullpen had a tough time. The defense at times has been brilliant, but more than anything else, the Barnstormers have had a really difficult time offensively against this Sugar Land pitching staff, which now features 11 major league guys. And it's been a really tough week for the Barnstormers to get runs on the board. The base stealing game has been cut down. Yeah, the Barnstormers have 6 steals in 5 games, but that is a very low total. The average for 5 games for this ball club to be about 11. So that part of the game has been repressed. Sugar Land's done a great job keeping Darian Sanford under wraps. Rico Noel has stolen 3 bases over the last couple of games. Blake Galen has had his base hits, but really can't get any power going here this week. He keeps hitting the ball somewhere where Anthony Giansani can run it down. So it's just been, all in all, a difficult week. And tonight, the Barnstormers really are going to have to turn things around from Monday. The pitching matchup is Steve Johnson and Dallas Beeler, the same as it was Monday night. And with those two pitchers in the game, Sugar Land bounced out to a 6-0 lead. They eventually built it to 8-0. Beeler had a no-hitter for 5 1/3 innings before it was busted up by Anderson De La Rosa. Johnson 3-3 with a 4.87 ERA. Beeler is 5-1 with a 2.31 earned run average. The Barnstormers needing to win these two, absolutely. They have to win one of these next 2 games to stay alive in the Freedom Division race. Well, the Barnstormers have a glut of infielders, and we talked to Tyler Bortnick earlier this week. We've spoken with the likes of Carlos Garcia and Vladimir Frias along the way. Well, Nate Coronado is here as well after spending some time with the New York Yankees with their Florida State League affiliate in Tampa. And we caught up with Nate earlier today and talked to him about his time with the Yankees and his time here in Lancaster and what it's been like having to share playing time as opposed to last year jumping right in and taking over for Vladimir Frias at shortstop. I'll be back with Nate in just a moment here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochnauer here for Gochnauer Appliances in East Petersburg. We are as excited as you that it's baseball season, and we are thrilled to once again be partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers. We are also excited this season to introduce some awesome new appliance colors on display now. Come and see the new colors of slate, black stainless, and black slate. These colors will give your kitchen a great look, and of course, all of them are at the best prices around now at Gochnauer's. I'll be back after the break to tell you about our special Barnstormers summer promotions.
Welcome back to this edition of the Gochnauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. My guest tonight is Barnstormers infielder Nate Coronado. And Nate, first of all, welcome back to Lancaster. I know it's been a while since you've joined us. This is the first time we've had a chance to sit down and chat. And are you glad to be back?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, but I'm glad to be back. This is what I call my home. If it's not affiliated, I mean, this is crazy spot to play, man. I'm glad just to be here.
Tell us about your time with the Yankees. Ross and I kind of figured at the end of last season that you would at some point be signed by the Yankees. We were actually surprised it took as long as it did, but you at least had that opportunity.
Well, it was a fun experience. It was great organization. I think by far the best organization I've ever been. And the situation that I was into, I mean, I know it is what it is. As soon as they send down a lot of players from the big leagues, everything moves, so it is what it is.
You had a chance to spend some time in Florida. You got some ABs in the Florida State League. What was it like there?
Wow, it was completely an open eye. I mean, I didn't expect that from the young guys to throw like that hard. I mean, they were good, but unexperienced. You know what I'm saying? To be playing at this level and then go to high A where I was, it was a great experience to be there. I mean, good time to be playing with my age, guys. But it is what it is. It is pretty fun over there. I like it so far.
Last year, just after you joined the Barnstormers, Vladimir Frias' contract was purchased by the Arizona Diamondbacks. You jumped right in and played shortstop. This time around, there wasn't that job kind of built in for you, and it's been Ross trying to figure out how to get you and Carlos and Tyler and Rico all some playing time out there.
I mean, it's a tough situation, I know, but it's just fun to be, cheering for my teammates. I mean, all we can do to win. I mean, it is what it is. We are many infielders here. I mean, we all talented, and then at some point, I mean, we all got to play, and then we all got to get our bag, we just cheer each other up, and then I feel like we're going to be okay,
all you guys are working at the craft of playing third base, and I've seen you out there a number of days working with JB, working with Anderson, just to pick up some pointers, play the third base position, because that could come around and be yours every day.
I mean, it is a tough job, because I mean, what's a shortstop, and you got to move your feet way too much in the shortstop than third. So the main key is just to get set early and then be down. This is what I've been learning for the past, year so far. And then it's a tough position, but at the same time it's easy, but it's fun.
You're not in the lineup tonight. A lot of cage work getting in here before the game, as we hear going on in the background with Grant Dismay and your buddy Anderson working right now. And obviously BP on the field is something you don't want to do every day down here in Texas. It's simply too warm and humid. So down underneath here, you got a lot of work in, and it gets you ready to go in case you come in later.
Yeah, 100% agree there. It's hot as hell outside. I mean, we don't want to go outside. But I believe it's way hotter in here than outside. We don't want to be just in the sun all the time. But it's good to have this facility down here. I mean, in every single ballpark that we go.
This has not been a great week for this ball club. I think everybody knows that, but there's still a chance to recover the next couple of nights. How's everybody feeling right now?
Well, we fired up. That's the main thing. I mean, we want to play. We want to show up. It is what it is. We're playing with a good competition so far, and then I think we can get this, guys. But the main key, we got to play. We got to play together. This is a team game. It's not an individual game, because, I mean, as soon as you play individual, everything goes apart. I mean, we got to stick together like we always been, And then that's the main key. I think we're in a good position to win these 2 games coming up and the rest, and then we should be fine.
Well, Nate, thanks for taking the time tonight. Good luck. Get in, get a little bit cooled off inside, and we'll catch up with you after the game.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dave.
Nate Coronado joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Starting lineups come your way next on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Adam Gocknauer back with you again to tell you that we are back this season with Weber Gas Grills. We have the best selection and prices in the area on Weber, and if you mention this ad, you will receive 10% off all in-stock Weber accessories. Don't forget, we also fill your propane tanks here at the store. Don't waste money on exchanges when you can have us fill your tank and save you money. We are your appliance and gas grill headquarters. Come see us today on Main Street in East Petersburg or on the web at Gocknauers.com.
I'm a chef. Pleasing my patrons' palates is paradise. But lately, when I hear a cheer from the dining room, it's Keno from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Sure, it could be my veggie lasagna, but chances are it's customers picking numbers to win cash with drawings every 4 minutes. Keno's fun, exciting, and you can enjoy it as an appetizer or a main course. Hey, everything tastes better with winning. Keno, it's here. Played at your favorite bar or restaurant.
Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Here are those starting lineups for this evening's ball game. The Barnstormers will be led off by center fielder Darian Sanford. Rico Noel batting second at second base. Blake Galen, the DH, will hit third. The cleanup batter is the catcher Ryan Castile. Casey Hobson will bat fifth. He'll be at first base. The left fielder hitting sixth is Trayvon Robinson. Grant Desmay is going to bat seventh. He will be in right field. Carlos Garcia, the shortstop, is batting eighth. And the third baseman in the number 9 slot is Tyler Bortnick. Steve Johnson on the hill for the Barnstormers tonight. He checks in with a record of 3 wins and 3 losses and a 4.87 ERA, looking to close out the month of June with a win. He is winless here in this month after picking up the 3 wins early in the season. For the Sugarland Skeeters, Barrett Barnes is leading off. He is in right field. The first baseman batting number 2, Matt Chavez. Colin Walsh at second base is batting third. The cleanup hitter is the left fielder, Courtney Hawkins. Kyle Kubica will bat fifth. He will be at third base. Anthony Giansani is in center field batting seventh. Albert Cordero is doing the catching, and he's batting seventh. Giansani batting sixth. The designated hitter in the number 8 slot is Dennis Phipps. Alvaro Rondon is the shortstop. He is batting ninth. Dallas Beeler on the hill. Beeler was magnificent here on Monday night. The Barnstormers hoping that the 3 runs they scored off of him in the 8th inning could be an indicator of what they might be able to do here tonight. 5-1 for Beeler and a 2.31 earned run average. It's interesting to note, we've talked about the Sugarland starting rotation. There is no one who has been in the rotation throughout the season since it started. Everybody that is starting right now for them has been in the bullpen at some point or another. It's kind of an interesting factoid that we picked up on earlier today. They may be a little bit fresher. They've gotten great work from their starters. They've gotten great work from their entire ball club throughout this series. We'll be back with play-by-play baseball, almost a must-win game for the Lancaster Barnstormers here tonight. We'll have that for you in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. For 16, Matt Chavez.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments in honor of the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
To get rich or building trust. On behalf of the youth of Fort Bend County. And the winner
Welcome back from Constellation Field. The Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the Sugar Land Skeeters, game 6 out of 7. This has been the longest trip that the Barnstormers have made here to Texas in their history, and obviously it has not gone well. There have been times the Barnstormers have come down here and raked Sugar Land over the coals. I specifically think of 3 years ago when the Barnstormers came down here, and this is where the second half turned around. In the 2015 season, the Barnstormers ran roughshod over the Sugar Land Skeeters, and that was the beginning of that incredible tear where the Barnstormers would eventually go on and finish with the best half record that they have put together in the history of this franchise. So it's got to start here tonight. The Barnstormers are in a situation where they almost absolutely have to win their remaining 6 games. Maybe they can get away with 5 out of 6, depending on exactly how things shake down. But 5 out of 6 will mean that they're going to need a little bit of help along the way from the York Revolution. So it is not a great situation at the moment for this Lancaster Barnstormers ball club. If the Barnstormers can take these last 2 here in Sugar Land, and it's going to take a turnaround in this series, the guys believe they can do it, and they need to. If they take the last 2 in this series, then they come home still with the inside track, and everything will be good as far as the Barnstormers are concerned. If they split these next 2 games, they're still in trouble. They've got to get a lot of help from the York Revolution, and they have to sweep the Road Warriors over the final 4 games of the first half. And, of course, if we lose the last 2 here, it's over. It's done. The Sugar Land Skeeters are the first half champions, and the Barnstormers are going to have to figure out what they might need to change for the second half. Barnstormers were running roughshod through the Atlantic League from the entire month of May and into the month of June. At one point, winning 27 out of 35 games, getting to 28-11. They led the league in hitting. They led the league in pitching. And Ross Peoples trying to figure out what it is that has happened, what has gone wrong, and everybody can come up with some theories, but certainly some of the data stands out. You know me, I'm a numbers guy. I'm going to parse it this way. But over the last 18 games, the starting pitching has an ERA of 6.75. Over the last 11 games, the club has hit .214. Those are not good numbers, and those are dramatic turnarounds from where the club had been those first 39 games of the season when they were hitting nearly .290 as a ball club, and the starting pitchers collectively had an earned run average around 3.8. What changed? Tough to tell, but obviously something that needs to be addressed and needs to be changed back. The starting pitcher tonight for the Sugar Land Skeeters will be Dallas Beeler. Beeler threw here on Monday night and was terrific. He walked Darian Sanford leading off the game, picked him off, and after that, the Barnstormers did not have another base runner until Anderson De La Rosa grounded a single up the middle in the 6th inning. They would eventually tack on 3 runs in the 8th, a game the Barnstormers did not have an extra base hit. So Beeler, the right-hander, making his second start of this series, as is Steve Johnson. And again, the Barnstormers, you want to talk about a dramatic turnaround, they need to turn things around from that opening game of the series here on Monday night. It is a Hawaiian night here at Constellation Field, and the Skeeters are all dressed in Hawaiian shirts, the same style. They had a giveaway here at the ballpark tonight, and we see the fans clad in the Hawaiian shirts as well. The Barnstormers, meanwhile, are in black with the red stripes. The Hawaiian shirts, by the way, are a brilliant orange with white numbers and some blue print on there. Right now, we're going to send you down to the field. Here are our opening ceremonies.
As we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by members of Grace Fellowship United Methodist Church.
There you have it, our national anthem tonight at Constellation Field. We don't have quite the crowd we had here last night, 69-88. The place was full. Theoretically, it could still get there. It was a late arriving crowd last evening. The folks enjoying the ball game that Sugar Land won 9-4 with the 5-run outburst in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And then they actually had a magnificent post-game concert, a cover band on the deck out in right center field. They have a beer garden area out there, this sort of unusually shaped field with areas in both left center around the pool and right center around the beer garden, where the outfield fence is actually curved back in toward the infield. Well, they had amps set up out there, and I would say a good 2,000 to 3,000 people stayed for the concert. It was an 80s cover band that they had here a night ago. Dallas Beeler with the start for the Sugar Land Skeeters. Second time we have seen him in this series. When we last faced the Sugar Land Skeeters back in early May, he was working out of the bullpen. He is a good-sized fellow, 6'5", 225 pounds, 29 years of age, out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He had pitched for the Chicago Cubs back in 2016, sat out a year ago. He's thrown 50 2/3 innings this year. He's allowed only 34 hits and 11 walks. He has struck out 49 on the season. Behind him defensively, set up with which we become relatively familiar. Kyle Kibitz at third. Alvaro Rondon is the shortstop. Colin Walsh at second. Matt Chavez at first. Courtney Hawkins is in left. Anthony Giansanti is the center fielder. Barrett Barnes is making the start out in right. Albert Cordero doing the catching. Derek Norris was injured earlier in the week. He was hit by a pitch and has not returned to action. Barnstormers trying to get off to a fast start tonight. They did last night. They scored 2 runs in the top half of the first inning. Everything was looking promising for the Barnstormers last night, a game that you would have thought would have favored them. And then it's tough to describe what happened, but the 24-pitch bottom of the second, only 1 run scored, but it was like the air completely went out of the Barnstormer balloon. Here is Sanford batting .276 with 20 runs batted in. He drove in the tying run in the top of the 7th last night. He takes a strike, says the plate umpire tonight, Andrew Larkins. It is Chris Cervantes at first base, Eric Davis over at third. The next pitch to Darian, chipped out the shallow center field. Racing in is Giansanti. He is there to make the catch. Sanford retired, 1 away. That brings on Rico Noel. He stole his 27th and 28th bases of the season last night. He now is among the all-time top 5 in Barnstormers history in career stolen bases. Blake Galen and Darian Sanford already part of that group, joining Quincy Foster and Michael Woods. 1 out, nobody aboard here in the top of the first inning. Noel steps in. Rico batting .327 with 15 runs batted in. Here is the wind. And the pitch, it is upstairs, ball 1, 1-0 to Rico. Galen's been getting his base hits in this series. He has the 1 double. Drove in his 50th run of the season last night. There's a bunt by Noel. Chavez will charge. It's going to be a race to the bag, and that race is won by Chavez. 3 unassisted. Noel again trying to bunt this one better over toward first base than last night in the 7th inning when he pushed it too hard, but Chavez still was able to beat him there. Rico had to try and duck around the tag, and he dove head first into the bag. Chavez got the foot there before Rico's hand arrived. Now with 2 outs, Blake Galen, the designated hitter, steps in, batting .312 with a dozen home runs and 50 runs batted in. It seems it doesn't matter what the Barnstormers try in this series, it gets cut short every which way. First pitch is up to Galen. Ball 1 and no strikes. They hit and run, and they hit it right at the guy covering. They bunt. They bunt it too hard. It's just been a frustrating series all the way around. Here's the 1-0, and that is taken for a strike by Galen at the top of the zone. Not liking the call too much from Andrew Larkin. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Castile, the catcher, waiting on deck. Beeler going to work with his battery mate, Albert Cordero. Next pitch. Galen knocked back off the plate for ball 2 and a strike. Blake 2 hits last night. There's the 2-1 to him. He chops it on the ground, foul past first. Now a 2-ball and 2-strike count overall in the series. He is 5 for 20, which is not exactly Galen-esque. But 3 times he has been robbed by Giansani on sprawling catches, 2 in the outfield, 1 at second base. He's still swinging the bat perfectly all right. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Beeler back into the motion. And to Galen, it is over but low. The count fills 3-2. The Barnstormers need to do something tonight. They need to stir some things up, but everything they try, as I said, comes up a little bit short. Galen will get the walk. 2-out base runner for the Barnstormers here in the first inning. Blake, 10 stolen bases in 14 tries. Ryan Castile will come to the plate. Castile is hitting .291 with 7 homers, 29 runs batted in. His bat needs to start booming again. He was on a great hot streak up until about the middle of June. 1.34 out of 91 with a lot of extra base hits. Outside, that is ball 1 to him. So he hit .374 over that stretch. He became one of the top 6 or so hitters in the Atlantic League for the season. Ball 1-0, 2 outs, Galen the base runner. And to Castile, Beeler finds the inside corner. The strike taken, and it is 1-1. Casey Hobson, the first baseman, waits on deck. 2 outs, Galen the base runner here in the first inning. Beeler was not worked over too much by the Barnstormers. He threw just 81 pitches the first 7 innings here on Monday. Galen takes off. The pitch is low. The throw by Cordero is to the shortstop side of the bag. That is stolen base number 11 for Blake Galen, and it moves a base runner into scoring position for the Barnstormers. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count on Ryan Castile, trying to pick this run up. And for the Barnstormers on the season, that is stolen base number 128. The ball club's still on a pace to set a new Atlantic League record. 2 balls and a strike to Castile. It is up 3-1. Hobson due next. Beeler struggling more than he did the entire game on Monday, at least until we got to the 8th inning. This could be a big moment if Castile can come through here. If he walks, Hobson can deliver. Here's the 3-1 to Castile. It's ball 4. Back-to-back walks given up by Dallas Beeler here in the opening inning, a man who had walked only 11 in 50 2/3 innings prior to tonight's ball game. And here's Casey Hobson. Hobson batting 167 with a home run, 6 runs batted in. Obviously not what you would expect out of KC. He has clearly been struggling at the plate. Was just 1 hit in his last 18 at-bats. Runners at first and second here. Beeler to the plate, and Hobson goes after the first pitch and pops this up the shallow left field. Back goes Rondon. In comes Hawkins, the left fielder, making the grab for the final out. The Barnstormers turned away here in the first inning. Galen and Castile pick up walks, but the Barnstormers can't pick up a run. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. At the end of a half inning, Lancaster nothing. Sugar Land is coming up.
you're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Steve Johnson needs a big start tonight for the Lancaster Barnstormers. We talked at the outset of the broadcast how the starting pitching, which was very strong through the first month and a half or so of the season, has not been nearly the same over the last 18 games. 6.75 ERA and averaging only slightly more than 5 innings per start. Johnson and Castile need a different plan tonight. Johnson has been hit pretty hard both times that he has faced this Sugarland Skeeters ball club. In fact, he has given up 12 runs in 7 innings against Sugarland in those 2 starts. Barrett Barnes will lead off against him. Barnes hitting .253 with 3 home runs and 18 knocked in. Tyler Bortnick's at third tonight. Carlos Garcia at short. Rico Noel at second. Casey Hobson at first. And the offering a strike to the outer edge. It's 0-1. Trayvon Robinson is in left. Darian Sanford in center. Grant Desmay, the right fielder. Ryan Castile doing the catching. Ground ball on the left side. It is speared by Bortnick to his left. Tyler fires on. Barnes retired, 1 away. Bringing on the first baseman Chavez, who is hitting .333 with 3 homers, 35 runs batted in. Last night he had a double down the third base line, a single down the right field line. And in the 7th inning, hit a ball up the middle that Rico Noel speared with a diving backhanded grab, turning it into a double play. Here's the line by Johnson. The pitch fouled away. Steve gets ahead, 0-1. The All-Stars will be announced on Monday. I don't even know if the guys know yet who made it, who didn't. Good size contingent for Lancaster. Bounce to third again. Bortnick can set, fire across the diamond, 2 up, 2 down. Like the start for Steve Johnson so far. Couple of ground balls off of some red-hot hitters. Now the switch-hitting second baseman Colin Walsh steps in. An interesting insertion into the number 3 slot in the batting order. Pete Incaviglia does not often use the same lineup back-to-back days. He has stirred it up pretty much all week since the first 2 days of the series. There's a called strike in on Walsh. It is 0-1. Johnson, shrug of the shoulders, ready to go. And a Walsh, high pop-up, shallow center field. Everybody signaling that the ball belongs to Darian Sanford. Sanford has it. And a 1-2-3 inning for Steve Johnson on only 6 pitches here in the bottom half of the first inning. You have to love that. Out to the field, back to the dugout on this hot, humid night. The sun's still out here in Sugarland. We are at the end of 1 inning at Constellation Field. The Lancaster Barnstormers and the Sugarland Skeeters in a 0-0 ball game.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me,
Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Trayvon Robinson leads off the second for the Barnstormers. Trayvon at 287. He had a pair of base hits last night. Couple home runs for him on the year. And 20 runs batted in. Dallas Beeler into the motion. He is outside. His control not nearly as sharp as it was here on Monday. A 29-year-old from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Selected by the Cubs in the 41st round pick. In 2010, smash foul past third base. That would have been effective if Robinson had gotten it inside the line. Kubica has made a lot of plays in this series, but he wasn't going to get that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Robinson. So from the 41st round pick in 2010, he did make it to the major leagues. Parts of 2 seasons. High and outside, 2-1 to Robinson. Grant Desmay on deck, and then Carlos Garcia. Tyler Bortnick in the hole. Beeler missed all of last year due to surgery. It wasn't Tommy John. Ball 3 is inside, 3-1. That seems to be the standard these days. Robinson batting 3-1. He'll take the walk if that's what's given to him. Beeler has already issued 2 in the game. Here's the windup and the 3-1. Robinson, huge swing and a miss. Filling the count, it is 3-2. Desmay waiting on deck. Telling me earlier he's been dealing with some administration stuff from his coaching job during the day or the last couple of days. Payoff offering. Bouncing ball toward the first baseman. Chavez will dig it up and head to the bag. 1 out here in the second inning. Desmay stepping in. Grant at 263 with a homer and 3 driven in. It's still a wonderful story, and it's being told repeatedly nationwide. Jason Bristol has a piece coming out here down in the Houston area. He's working down here now, former Channel 21 sports anchor. Breaking ball, missing to Desmay. Ball 1, no strikes. And just a delightful guy to be around. Here's a 1-0 to Grant, taken for a strike on the outer part of the plate. It's 1-1. Shortstop Carlos Garcia waiting on deck. Neither side with a base hit yet. The Barnstormers have forced some deep counts. They've picked up 2 walks against Beeler. To Desmay, 1-1, beaten foul. And it is a ball and 2 strikes. Barnstormers in less than ideal shape. Somebody pointed out on Facebook today, one of our fans, yeah, if we were in the other division, we'd be leading by quite a bit and wouldn't have to sit here and be so concerned, but unfortunately not the case. 2-2 now on Desmay as the pitch is high and outside. Beeler back into the wind. Grant swings, wraps that on the ground. It's handled by Rondon on 2 skips. A throw across, 2 up and 2 down. Carlos Garcia will step in, the shortstop at 283 with 9 runs batted in. Barnstormers just are not driving the ball well, and it's been going on now for close to 2 weeks, and that's tough to ascertain what is going on. A ball club that scored a lot of runs could just knock the ball all over the yard, and the bats seem dead here. 2 outs, nobody on. Garcia stepping in to Carlos, swinging a foul ball back. 0-1. Tyler Bortnick has the only 2 Lancaster home runs in the 5 games in this series. There have only been 3 doubles. Admittedly, some of that is Sugar Land's pitching, and Pete Incaviglia keeps bringing fresh arms in here, one after another after another. They do have a recruiting advantage here in Sugar Land. Ground ball hit by Carlos right to the second baseman, Walsh. An easy inning for Dallas Beeler. The Barnstormers go down 1-2-3, all on the ground. We'll head to the bottom of the second. There is no score.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Steve Johnson to work the bottom of the second inning. Courtney Hawkins, Kyle Kubica, and Anthony Giansani. 4, 5, and 6 hitters are scheduled. No score so far in the ball game. Neither side with a base hit to this point. Lancaster has drawn a couple of walks. Hawkins will lead off. The left fielder is batting .252. He has a dozen home runs, 44 runs batted in. There could be a tightening of the Liberty Division race. The Somerset Patriots have already lost the front half of a day-night doubleheader against York today, 4-0. First pitch swinging is Hawkins. He fouls one off down the right field line. It is 0-1. And York has jumped ahead 3-0 in the bottom of the third inning in the second game. Meanwhile, New Britain leads Southern Maryland 2-0 in the third. The Road Warriors are up 3-0 over the Long Island Ducks. That has reached the top of the third inning. Called strike to Hawkins. Johnson is out ahead, 0-2. Castile sets the target. The next pitch off the outside corner. Hawkins would not chase. It is ball 1 and 2 strikes. Lefty batting Kyle Kubica waiting on deck. Here's a 1-2. Breaking ball slips past the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last night, the Barnstormers walked 9, and that was pretty much the reason for the 9-4 loss. Johnson is outside and low here. He's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. 4 different pitchers came in and walked the first batter that they faced. That was highly disconcerting, and including 2 guys that came in as the next pitch is fouled away and walked a batter with the bases loaded, the first man that they faced last night. 2 of the walks were intentional. Those were given up by Kevin Munson, who was charged with the first 3 runs in the 8th inning and hence the loss. 3-2 on Hawkins. Sharp ground ball and a base hit to left field. Well, this has been what we have seen out of the Sugar Land Skeeters really the entire season series is they wear you down. They don't strike out. except for Tuesday. The Barnstormers fans well, but in general, they go from 0-2 counts somehow to 3-2 counts, and then either get the walk or put the ball in play, get it through the infield. Kyle Kubica now the hitter, 255, 7 home runs. He has driven in 35. He had an RBI double in the second inning last night. First pitch is up from Johnson, ball 1 and no strikes. And this Johnson perfect in the first inning. Through 6 pitches, got the side in order, and now having trouble throwing strikes. 1 ball and no strikes to Kubica. Johnson comes back and finds the outside corner here. It is 1-1. The Barnstormers starting pitchers having trouble keeping out of the big innings. Reed held the fort through 4 last night, gave up 3 runs in the 5th, had to be taken out. 1-1. Line drive, that is caught by Bortnick. He tries hurriedly to get the throw across the diamond, didn't get much on it. Hawkins back in easily. 1 out, 1 on. Hawkins was going to beat even a strong throw. He hadn't really wandered that far from the bag. Anthony Giansanti to the plate, the center fielder, batting .276. He has 8 home runs, and he has driven in 27. This man has had quite a series. And last night, when they needed him to lay down a sacrifice bunt, he did so perfectly. It's been a wonderful week for Mr. Giansanti, the one-time Bridgeport Bluefish player. Called strike at the knees. It is 0-1. I cannot even begin to express his value to this Sugar Land ball club. He had the same value last year. He got hurt at one point, but he could play so many different positions so well, and he's a pretty good stick. Popped up. This will come back and out of play. No shot for Castile. Johnson out ahead, 0-2. Hawkins, the runner at first, with 1 out in the lower half of the second inning. Sugar Land and the Barnstormers are scoreless to this point. Lancaster in pretty dire need of a win at this point. Johnson will bring it home. It is badly high. Ball 1 on Giansanti. Switch hitting catcher Albert Cordero is on deck. The decision to walk Cordero intentionally last night, on the surface anyway, looks like it really came back to bite the Barnstormers. But the move kind of made sense at the time. Ball 2 is high from Johnson, 2-2. He's tried that big arcing curveball a couple of times in this inning and hasn't been able to locate it at all. That's a great pitch for him when he's throwing it for strikes. Here's a 2-2. Giansanti pulls it deep left field. Back on this goes Robinson. Trayvon looking up. The walls will not contain it. Anthony Giansanti with a 2-run home run here in the second inning. Sugar Land has the 2-0 lead. Not the start the Barnstormers needed to this game. Giansanti with his 3rd home run of the week. He is scorching hot here against the Barnstormers this week. That is his 10th hit, his 3rd home run. He has driven in 8. Here's Albert Cordero with 1 out, nobody on base. .286 hitter with 6 home runs is Cordero. Johnson into the motion. His pitch, a strike to the outer corner at the knees. It is 0-1. Steve Johnson coming off a 1-2-3 first inning. He set the side down very, very quickly. And all of a sudden, 3 hard hit balls here in the second. Cordero with a tamper out toward the mound. Johnson will scoop it up and find the glove of Casey Hobson. That's the 2nd out of the inning. Dennis Phipps, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. Now the Sugar Land Skeeters are making noise again tonight. They want to wrap this up. They want to rub it into the Barnstormers. You pick up that little nuance around the ballpark that they don't think that we've got a very good ball club. That has been that's been said. They think they're tons better than the Barnstormers, and Lancaster would like to prove them wrong. Ball 1 is inside and low, 1-0. I mean, there is that that sort of background noise here at Constellation Field. There's the big looping curveball. Now a strike in on Phipps. It is 1-1. 2 outs, 2 runs home on the bomb by Giansanti up onto the deck. Swing and a miss by Phipps, make it 1-2. The Barnstormers have to counter. They need to find their offense. Here's a 20-pitch, bottom half of the second inning. 1-2, the count on Phipps. Low for ball 2. 2-2 the count. The Barnstormers just haven't been able to come up with counter punches for the bulk of the week. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fly ball out to right field. And Grant Desmay drops it. That wind played tricks with him. And he got there, tried to make the catch about knee high and fumbled it. The inning will continue. Phipps is on. I'm going to trust that will be an error, but I'm not going to write it in my scorecard yet. And that's exactly what it's going to be. Put it up on the board now. Alvaro Rondon, the shortstop, comes to the plate. Rondon hitting .284 with 20 runs batted in. Well, the Barnstormers can ill afford that type of play. Ground ball, second base. Easy chance for Rico Noel. So Rondon goes down on 1 pitch. Johnson's out of the inning, but it's 2 runs, 2 hits, an error, 1 man left. We're at the end of 2. Sugarland with the 2-0 lead.
I'm a chef. Pleasing my patrons' palates is paradise. But lately, when I hear a cheer from the dining room, it's Keno from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Sure, it could be my veggie lasagna, but chances are it's customers picking numbers to win cash with drawings every 4 minutes. Keno's fun, exciting, and you can enjoy it as an appetizer or a main course. Hey, everything tastes better with winning. Keno, it's here. Played at your favorite bar or restaurant.
Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Big week coming up at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Make sure you're a part of it. Doubleheader baseball against the Road Warriors on Tuesday night. It's a Koozie Tuesday. And $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. We'll start the DH at 6 o'clock. Here's Tyler Bortnick leading off the top of the 3rd inning. He shows bunt, takes a ball upstairs, 1-0. Then fireworks following the 6:30 ball game on Wednesday night. Remember, that is an earlier start. The fireworks presented by the PA Lottery. Bortnick with a crisp grounder foul off the fencing in front of the Lancaster dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike here. A Thrifty Thursday and Senior Thursday coming up, presented by A&E Audiology on Thursday evening. And then it's 80s night on Friday. Anyone wearing big hair? Bortnick with a fly ball down the left field line, giving chases. Hawkins, he won't get there. It's foul. Tyler back in at a ball and 2 strikes with Sanford and Noel to follow. Fireworks again on Saturday, and we'll have a game-worn jersey auction. I do not know the style of those jerseys. Oh, also on Friday night, I forgot to mention a fanny pack giveaway to the first 1,000 fans, 14 and older. And a Sunday family fun day as we wrap up the series against the New Britain Bees. 1-2. Bortnick swings and misses first strikeout of the game for Dallas Beeler. 1 out. Darian Sanford to the plate. Sanford fly to center back in the first inning. Lancaster did not get a hit for the first 5 1/3 innings the last time they saw Beeler, and now it's 2 1/3 innings in. Unable to square anything up. Again, this has not been uncommon for this Barnstormers offense as of late, and it's puzzling. Sanford shows bunt, draws it back, takes a strike, and winces at the call. It is 0-1 to Darien. The Barnstormers can't even get a bunt down and beat it out in this series. That's been how difficult this has been. They can't get the speed game going. Sanford offers at this one, which was not in the zone, and he's down a quick 0-2 against Beeler. You can't fault the Barnstormers for trying. They've got to get something going here. They've got to try and play their game. But they have even been beaten at little ball in this series. Nothing really has worked. 0-2. Sanford bounces that right back to the hill. Couldn't get it past the 6'5" Beeler. Easy toss to first. 2 up, 2 down in the Lancaster half of the third inning. Rigo Noel to the plate. Noel bunted into an out back in the first inning. Skeeters with the 2-0 lead on the home run by Jansani. Nothing new about that in this series. Dallas Beeler to the plate, and a strike called on the outside corner to Noel. He's just mixing speeds. He's hitting spots. Barnstormers unable to get anything generated. We've seen it the entire week out of their starters. Fly ball by Noel, hit pretty well, but playable. Giansani fades back toward the alley in left center field to make the catch. Beeler with a 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 7 in a row since giving up the 2 walks in the first. Through 2.5, 2-0 in favor of Sugar Land.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
We go to the bottom of the third inning and the top of the order for the Sugar Land Skeeters. Barrett Barnes will be followed by Matt Chavez and Colin Walsh. Top of the order, they went down very quickly in the first inning against Steve Johnson, who has gotten the better of 7 of 9 batters that he's faced. He just gave up the home run to Giansani last inning. And again, the Barnstormers without a base hit yet tonight through the first 3 innings. Johnson into the windup. Here's the pitch. Clapped fair inside the bag at third. Down the line. Headed for the corner. Barnes will sprint towards second base and be in standing with a leadoff double here in the bottom half of the third inning. Third hit of the game for the Sugar Land Skeeters. Runner in scoring position. Matt Chavez stepping in. Chavez grounded out 5-3 back in the first inning. If the Barnstormers don't recover here, they have to win the last 5. They absolutely have to. Brooks Hall has given the Barnstormers 3 good starts in a row. He gave up some runs the last time out, but he had the lead. He's the guy on the hill tomorrow, same time as this one, 6:05 here Central. First pitch to Chavez, a called strike. It's 0-1. And then they have to sweep the Road Warriors and get help from York. So the picture becomes complicated. There's still the second half, and it's up to Ross if he wants to tweak things on this roster a little bit. And I know fully well, personally, he doesn't want to. Ball 1 inside, 1-1. Professionally, he may have to. 1 ball, 1 strike to Chavez. Barnes at second, nobody out. Colin Walsh, the second baseman, in the on-deck circle. Johnson back to work, and he is low for ball 2. Now 2-1. He has not been able to figure out a way through this Sugarland batting order at all. The 3 starts in. He's given up 5 home runs to them. A look back, the 2-1. Chavez slices a foul over on the right side. Desmay giving chase, will not get there. It is 2-2. And that's the hard thing that Ross faces right now. Personally, you want to keep this team together. They're brothers. It's a great family. You don't want to have to break anything up chemistry-wise. But if you look at it from a baseball standpoint, well, you might have to do something here or there. And Ross, I think, as my wife would say, his guts are grinding over it. Runner takes off for third, and the pitch gets to the backstop. Barnes is going to try and score. De La Rosa quickly back to Johnson covering, and Barnes is thrown out. Good recovery by Anderson, De La Rosa. Barrett Barnes is thrown out at the plate. Pete Incaviglia is going to come out and argue that Bortnick got in the way over at third. Barnes will get a stolen base, and then as the pitch got away from not De La Rosa but Castile, he fed Johnson back. The out 2-1. Eric Davis is going to have a discussion with Mr. Incaviglia, and we've seen Pete come out of the dugout quite a bit in this series, even when his club has the lead. That's kind of the reputation. Meanwhile, 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Matt Chavez. Sugarland already up 2-0 here. Barnstormers picking up the first out in the lower half of the third inning on the bases. Maybe a game changer. You'd like to think so. Incaviglia has had his say, doesn't agree with the ultimate ruling, and heads back to the dugout. We hear that, we haven't seen it yet, but we hear that Incaviglia can put on quite a show on the field, and so can Wally Backman. We haven't seen it out of Wally yet either. I don't believe, I'm trying to think back, I don't think that an opposing manager has been thrown out of a game involving the Barnstormers the entire year. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Matt Chavez. James Frisbee on the opening road trip. That's right. Ground ball to third. Bobbled by Bortnick. Knocked it down off his chest. His throw is high, and Chavez safe at first base. Bortnick will be charged with an error there. He recovered on the ground ball, but made the high throw, pulling Hobson off the bag. The Barnstormers are guilty of their second error here tonight. And with 1 away, Colin Walsh steps in. Boy, it's hard figuring this out. Walsh to the plate. Fly to center his first time up. Now gets a ball down low from Johnson, 1-0. Castile made a great play recovering the pitch that got to the backstop. Johnson laying the tag on Barnes coming in. Now to Walsh. That is swung on and lined into right field. He's got a base hit. On to second goes Chavez. And Sugarland reloads with runners at first and second. 1 out in the inning. That brings on Courtney Hawkins. He singled into left his first time up. Scored a run back in the second inning. Sugar Land, since the first inning, swinging the bats very well here. Barnstormers have let 2 runners reach on errors tonight. So 6 of the 12 Skeeters that have stepped into the batter's box have gotten on. Johnson will go to work. The pitch to Hawkins, swinging a nubber out ahead of the plate. Castile will come up firing and get the out at first. 2-3 on the plate. Chavez to third, Walsh to second with 2 outs. Kyle Kibitza will be the batter, and you've got to get him because Giansanti's on deck. Well, this lineup has worked brilliantly for Pete Incaviglia, no matter how he pieces it together this week. And we've seen some different combinations, but everybody picking everybody else up in this batting order. Second and third, 2 outs, and I think this out is essential. Kibitza gets a base hit here. I don't know where the Barnstormers can go. To Kibitza, a called strike. It is 0-1. If Johnson gets this out, it's still a 2-0 ball game. The Barnstormers have a path back. 4-0 could be really tough. Chavez is the runner at third base now, and Walsh at second. 2 men gone. 1 strike on Kibitza. There's a slow ground ball toward Rico Noel. He will shovel off the first. Johnson gets the job done here in the third inning. It is no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. The Skeeters strand 2. Still a ball game. We're at the end of 3. Sugar Land 2 and the Barnstormers nothing.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMP Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
Sugar Land has 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 3 left. For the Barnstormers, no runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left on base. Blake Galen, one of those runners. He walked back in the first inning, stole second and was left there. He'll drop a bunt down, but it's too close to the mound. Beeler comes up and feeds first, 1-3 on the out, 1 down here in the 4th inning. Ryan Castile coming to the plate. He drew the other walk back in the first. Now 8 in a row, retired by Beeler. We'll wrap up this series tomorrow night. The Barnstormers have the early flight out of here on Monday morning, and if this series doesn't turn around, I think everybody's going to be grateful to get on that plane. First pitch is outside and low to Castile. Ball 1 and no strikes. I think everybody's going to be grateful to get on that plane regardless. Casey Hobson, the first baseman, waiting on deck. The motion. And to Castile, big looping breaking ball gets there. A strike called. It is 1-1 to Castile. Only 41 pitches thrown by Beeler to this point, 16 of them in the first inning. He bounces one to the plate. Castile batting at 2 balls and a strike. Barnstormers somehow need to unleash some thunder here. The speed isn't working at all. They cannot bunt for a base hit. Castile ground ball left side. That gets into the hole. Nice play made by Rondon, and he'll gun down Castile. 6-3, 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Casey Hobson will come to the plate. And now it is 9 in a row retired by Beeler. Just 1 on strikes. Out of those 9, 2 on fly balls and 6 on ground balls if you include the bunt. Hobson flied out the left field, closing the 1st inning with the 2 runners on base. 2-0 Sugarland here. Beeler to the plate, and Hobson hits a chopper towards second. That will be handled by Walsh. An easy play, a 6-pitch inning. Beeler sawing through the Barnstormers for the 2nd straight time. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th with Sugarland up 2-0.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Anthony Giansani, Albert Cordero, and Dennis Phipps, the scheduled hitters for the Sugarland Skeeters. Giansani with a 2-run home run back in the 2nd, the difference in the ball game to this point. Giansani has played 1 game at second base, the other 5 in center field this week. Oh, he has just been magnificent, both sides of the baseball. The pitch inside and low from Steve Johnson. Ball 1, no strikes. Johnson's allowed 4 hits, no walks to this point. Next offering is popped up to shallow left field. Robinson coming in. Trayvon is there, and he will make the grab. Giansani retired. 1 man gone. Albert Cordero to the plate. He had a tapper back toward the hill. Retired in the 2nd inning. On the Major League scoreboard, the Cubs outslugging Minnesota today at Wrigley Field 14-9. I would think the wind was blowing out, but there was only 1 home run. The Baltimore Orioles, what a sad season. They lose again 6-2 to the Angels. Oakland beats Cleveland 7-2. Line drive into center field, a base hit for Cordero on the first pitch. 1 out and 1 on. Dennis Phipps, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. And other finals, Cincinnati pounded Milwaukee 12-3. Tampa Bay wins again. The Rays are playing some pretty good baseball these days, knocking off the big guys. They had a great series against the Yankees recently, and they win again 5-2 over Houston, beating Justin Verlander. Miami over the Mets 5-2. There's a ball pounded out the left field and into the corner. It's foul off the bat of Dennis Phipps. No balls and a strike. Games in progress at the major league level. Philadelphia up 3-1 over the Nats. That is in the bottom of the 5th inning. Herrera with his 15th home run. Rockies and the Dodgers no score in the 4th. Atlanta has a 2-0 lead over the St. Louis Cardinals there in the top of the 3rd. The Red Sox laying it on heavily against the Yankees early. 6-0 Boston just in the top of the 2nd inning. Oh, and Toronto beat Detroit 4-3. Missed that one earlier among the finals. Breaking ball dances outside and low. 1-1 on Phipps with Alvaro Rondon waiting on deck. Barnstormers trailed 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out, 1 on against Steve Johnson. Infield sets up, double play depth. Johnson going to work, 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch is hit high in the air, deep right field. Grant Desmay will settle back on this one and make the catch. Tagging off first, but just joking, is Cordero. 2 outs, and Rondon will step in. Phipps has good power, but I'm trying to fathom a right-handed batter going to the opposite field on a night like this. I'm sure there are some that can do it, but with that wind blowing in and 348 down the line, it plays 375 easily to the right field corner here. 2 outs. Rondon steps in. Cordero, the runner at first. 2-0 Sugarland. The Barnstormers are still able to hang around. They've got to get the offense going against Beeler, who has confused them totally for 2 straight starts. Ball inside, 1-0. Barrett Barnes, the right fielder, due next. Fortunately, the 1 ball hit by Phipps went foul down the left field side. Next delivery right there, a strike taken by Rondon, and we are even at 1 each. Johnson has been hit hard at times tonight. He has no strikeouts, but he hasn't walked anybody. And he's gotten enough outs to survive. Swing and a miss by Rondon. It's 1-2. Okay, one-time Baltimore Orioles, Steve Johnson. Barnstormers still looking for that lockdown starting pitcher, though. And I think if one guy does it, then everybody else is going to follow suit. Cordero darts off first base, and he got a balk from Johnson. The first base umpire, Chris Cervantes, calls it. That'll move a runner into scoring position. Ross Peoples is coming out to inquire. The Barnstormers claim Johnson stepped off. And Ross will ask Cervantes exactly what the ruling is. I hate to say this, Ross is about 10 inches taller, but that doesn't really matter, does it? It just looks kind of interesting out on the field. 2-0 Sugarland, and now the balk puts a runner into scoring position. And Ross will head on back to the dugout. Rondon with a chance to pick up a 3rd Sugarland Skeeters run. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Johnson looks back to Cordero and misses away. We go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barrett Barnes, the on-deck hitter. Johnson prefers to see him in the 5th inning. Barnstormers will have Robinson, Desmay, and Garcia due up in the 5th. Fouled off. Rondon stays alive with a 2-2 count. Sugarland is playing right now like the Barnstormers were playing during the 12-game winning streak. The Skeeters are red hot. Every aspect of the game is going well for them. Rondon backs out. There's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And like I said, they just keep bringing people in here. Two and 2, the continuing count. The motion, the pitch, again fought off, back to the screen. And still 2 balls and 2 strikes. to the point they have accumulated the Sugarland Club 15 players with Major League time. Not all that many in the lineup. It's the pitching staff. High pop-up by Rondon. Casey Hobson toward home plate. He is there to put it away, ending the inning. Well, Johnson finds a little bit of trouble here. No runs ahead, no errors, a balk, and a runner left at second base. Through 4, still 2-0 Sugarland.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Trayvon Robinson, Grant Desmay, and then Carlos Garcia up in the top of the 5th inning. The Barnstormers still within 2. They're in much better shape than the last time that they faced Beeler because Steve Johnson's having a better outing. Ultimately, Johnson not having a bad outing at all. Here's Robinson. Trayvon had a chopper to first base back in the 2nd after getting ahead 3-1 in the count. He goes after the first pitch, lofting a foul out of play to the left. It is 0-1. Beeler has really gotten locked in. He hasn't gone to another 3-ball count since Robinson's. He's retired 10 in a row, just 1 on strikes. The Barnstormers hitting into outs quickly. The 0-1 pitch off the inside part of the plate. Robinson bats at 1 each. Lancaster looking for its first base hit. Anderson De La Rosa broke up the no-hitter in the 6th inning on Monday. Here comes the 1-1. Trayvon swings and taps an off-speed pitch foul straight down. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. We'll wrap it up tomorrow. It'll be Brooks Hall against Connor Wade. 6:05 Central. You can tune into the Dugout Report at 6:45. And then we'll rejoin you at home. No Blue Ridge Cable games this week. BRC 11 with the week off. So we'll be right here on the YouTube channel. Swing and a miss. Robinson goes down. That's the 2nd strikeout. We'll have that entire Road Warrior series and the New Britain series on the YouTube channel. Andrew and I will be coming your way. Grant Desmay steps in. Desmay grounded a short back in the 2nd inning. Beeler now is retired 11 straight. To Desmay, big curveball missing. Ball 1 and no strikes. Grant broke up the no-hit bid for Casey Coleman leading off the 6th inning 2 nights ago. Upstairs, 2-0 to Desmay with Garcia scheduled next. Sugarland 2, Lancaster nothing. 1 out into the top half of the 5th inning tonight. This week has been Everybody's worst nightmare. Strike taken across the letters. It is 2-1. The really lone highlight of the week, Tyler Bortnick's performance on Tuesday. Not just the grand slam, but the overall game. Desmay looks at a breaking ball. It gets back to the inside corner, 2-2. He was involved in 7 of the 8 Barnstormers runs that night. And the following night, he had a solo home run to tie the game, a couple of great plays in the bottom of the inning. Desmay, 2-2, swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Beeler. That is 3. Carlos Garcia to the plate. Garcia grounded out 4-3 back in the second inning. Skeeters 2, Stormers nothing here in the 5th. Beeler for the second consecutive start, just carving up the Barnstormers batting order. Lancaster got to him for 3 runs in the 8th inning as he faded on Monday, but he had an 8-0 lead at the time. Garcia stands in, Beeler ready to go. The pitch, Carlos offers the bunt on the appeal to third base, the ruling given. It is no balls and a strike. 54 pitches. That has been it for Dallas Beeler through 4 2/3 innings. He has Garcia down 0-1. Ground ball, beaten foul up the first base line. It's 0-2. I think some of this as well is the Corey Dolmel factor. He was a great pitching coach for Somerset the past few years. I think John Hunton learned well from him. Somerset's pitching is not the issue. They're just having a lot of trouble scoring runs. We'll check in on those scores in the bottom half of this inning. And to Garcia, ground ball shortstop, handled by Rondon. The throw is just in time at first base. Garcia nearly beat that out. A close play, 6-3. 1-2-3. Go the Barnstormers again in the top half of the 5th inning. We're through 4.5. Sugar Land is up 2-0.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Bottom of the 5th, top of the order against Steve Johnson. Elsewhere in the Atlantic League, it is a bad day for the Somerset Patriots. York winning the opener of a day-night doubleheader, 4-0 in a 7-inning game, and the second game will be a 9-inning game. It may not matter. York is up 8-0. In the bottom half of the 5th inning, New Britain leads Southern Maryland 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th. And what that all means is that there's a good likelihood that at the end of the play today, New Britain will be within a game and a half of Somerset with the tiebreaker in hand. The Bees coming out of nowhere in that race. The Road Warriors, meanwhile, lead the Long Island Ducks 3-0 in the 5th inning. First pitch swinging is Barrett Barnes. On comes Desmay to handle his fly ball to right field. 1 out. In the lower half of the 5th, bringing on Matt Chavez, who was grounded to third and reached on an error. Lancaster has to win one of these two games to stay alive in the division race. Otherwise, heaven forbid this happen, but it'll be the third straight half where the Barnstormers finish second and watch the team celebrate the first or the half title. Breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner to Chavez. It's 0-1. It's almost like a curse. The Barnstormers finishing over 500 and have the best overall record, by the way, in the Atlantic League for the last 15 halves. And they finished over 500 in 12 of them and have won only 3. It's unbelievable. It's just like I said, it's like some kind of curse over the head of this franchise. It's sort of like another team that I follow blowing leads in the fourth quarter, but that's neither here nor there. Outside for ball 2, 2-1 the count on Chavez. Still a chance to recover it for the Barnstormers, who had first place for 6 weeks. There was a day somewhere in there that the Barnstormers dropped back into second when they weren't playing for 3 days in a row. High fly ball foul out of play to the right, 2-2 on Chavez. But for better than 6 weeks, the Barnstormers were the top team in the Freedom Division. They just slipped out of that 2 nights ago. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Chavez. 1 out, nobody on base. Johnson back into the motion. The pitch doesn't get there. Ball 3 is low. Johnson wanted it, and he's jawing. Full count to Chavez. Colin Walsh, the second baseman, due next. Here's the payoff pitch. Johnson to the plate. Bouncer toward third and foul. Good backhanded pickup by Bortnick. Just for style points. 3-2 still to Chavez. Now, the Barnstormers were battling Somerset for that distinction coming into this season. Best record since the start of 2011. And the Barnstormers have forged ahead of the Patriots, and nobody else has caught up, but just having the hardest time winning halves. 3-2 pitch, breaking ball, and that is lined into left, and a base hit for Chavez. A 1-out runner aboard. 6 hits now off of Johnson over 4 1/3 innings. Colin Walsh has one of those hits, a single to right. Back in the 3rd inning, he is 1 out of 2. The Skeeters, it doesn't matter whether they wear black, blue, white, or tonight orange. Continuing to swing the bats well. Infield sets up, double play depth. The pitch to Walsh, cut on and fouled back. It is 0-1. We talked about this the entire week. The Skeeters are up there. They're swinging confidently. They're fielding confidently. They're moving. They're brimming with a swagger. And the Barnstormers have just seemed tight and hesitant this entire series. Inside and low, a ball and a strike. No matter if they're on the mound, they're just trying to pick at the corners of the zone, not attacking. If they're in the field, a lot of times they've seemed a step slow getting to things, which is not the nature of this ball club, as you know. Even on the bases, they seem a step slow. There's the big curveball. It misses. And a Walsh, 2-1. Johnson thought he had Chavez struck out on the 2-2 pitch. Wasn't happy about that. 2 balls, 1 strike. Chavez leading off first, not really a steal threat. And a Walsh, ball 3, missing low, 3-1. Courtney Hawkins is on deck. Barnstormers have on the side. They've worked hard. They're not slacking off, anything of the sort. But boy, when they've taken the field this week, they have just not been the same ball club. They haven't been the same ball club for a couple of weeks now. 3 balls and a strike. Chavez had 1 throw over to first. Now the pitch, and Walsh drives that to right center field. Sanford didn't see it, and that ball is going to bounce into the alley as a result. Chavez will be held at third. Walsh gets the second with a double. Second and third with one out. Darian wouldn't have made the catch on the fly, even if he had seen it, but he got blinded for a second, pulled up, not sure where that ball was going to come down, and as a result, Walsh gets the second base out of it. Ross Peoples is going to pay a mound visit. Runners are at second and third with one out. Courtney Hawkins has a chance to break this thing open in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Ross coming to the mound to talk things over. 7 hits now for the Sugar Land Skeeters through 4 1/3 innings. Barrett Barnes flied out easily on the first pitch of this inning. New Britain now with an even bigger lead over Southern Maryland, 7-2 in the top of the 6th inning. So eyes have been on this race all along, but they may shift to Somerset and New Britain by the time we leave this weekend. The Barnstormers are going to bring the infield in here. Ross doesn't want to give up any more. Chavez at third, Walsh at second, one out. Hawkins the batter. Johnson goes to work. Hawkins scorches a grounder foul past Lincoln Gums in the third base coach's box. It is 0-1. The Skeeters have out-hit the Barnstormers in this game 7-0. And for the series now, 64-32. It has been that one-sided. Barnstormers did out-hit them last night 8-7. The only time they have in the series. And at the pitch to Hawkins, inside and low, ball one, strike one. Steve Johnson, and we've mentioned this throughout the season, is a pretty big strikeout guy. He cannot strike out a Skeeters batter, no matter what he does. 1-1 pitch, and to Hawkins, gets a second strike called here. 1-2. Kyle Kubica, the third baseman, a lefty batter, waits on deck. This would be a huge second out for Johnson to pick up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The left side of the infield is dropped back halfway, and the pitch popped up, and it appears playable. Off with the mask is Castile. He'll make the grab and foul ground. Hawkins retired. Huge second out for Johnson. He has battled out there tonight. He's been in some tricky spots before, but the only runs have come on the Giansanti homer. Kyle Kubica to the plate. He is 0 for 2. You can't pitch around it because you run into Giansanti. And that's when a lineup is working. Kubica is a good RBI guy. The Barnstormers have been there, but right now, this lineup is being shredded. And it's got everybody puzzled. It's not just this series. It predates this series. Swing and a miss by Kubica. Johnson works ahead. No balls and a strike. And even though it doesn't seem like Johnson has run a lot of deep counts or whatever, he's at over 70 pitches for the night here in the 5th inning. 0-1 to Kubica, time called, and he will back away. Defense now can lay back. 0-1. Johnson back, breaking ball. That is fouled at the plate. Castile hopped on it in a hurry, hoping that it would be ruled a fair ball. It was not. He was in back of the plate when he got it. No balls and 2 strikes. It'd be terrific if Johnson could get out of this inning and perhaps spring the offense to life. Bortnick, Sanford, and Noel due up in the 6th. 0-2. Steve backing off here. Right-hander ready to go. The pitch got him swinging a fastball up high, and Kubica goes down. The first strikeout of the night for Steve Johnson. He's given the Barnstormers all things considered, 5 really good innings out there this evening. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We're headed to the 6th. The Barnstormers need some runs. It's Sugar Land 2 and Lancaster nothing.
I'm a chef. Pleasing my patrons' palates is paradise. But lately, when I hear a cheer from the dining room, it's Keno from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Sure, it could be my veggie lasagna, but chances are it's customers picking numbers to win cash with drawings every 4 minutes. Keno's fun, exciting, and you can enjoy it as an appetizer or a main course. Hey, everything tastes better with winning. Keno, it's here. Played at your favorite bar or restaurant.
Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Sugar Land up 2-0. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Tyler Bortnick, Darian Sanford, and Rico Noel. The Barnstormers still without a base hit against Dallas Beeler. This is the 3rd time in 6 games that we have gone into the 6th inning, and the Barnstormers have had a 0 in the hit column. Each of the previous 2 times, that has been broken up in the 6th. Anderson De La Rosa and Grant Desmay doing the honors. Bortnick will lead off here. He struck out against Beeler in the 3rd inning. One of the 3 strikeouts for the right-hander on the night. He has walked 2. And again, his pitch count is low enough he could go all 9 if he stays on course. To Bortnick, it is low. Ball 1, no strikes. And we didn't think that was going to be the case on the first 6 batters. He walked Galen and Castile in the 1st inning, and it was 3-1 on Trayvon Robinson leading off the 2nd. Since then, no friction at all. Strike on the outside edge to Bortnick, and Tyler now bats at 1-1. The kick, the pitch, strike 2 is called at the knees. One and 2 to Tyler. 13 in a row, set down by Dallas Beeler. Wind up, and the 1-2. Chopper towards shortstop, hustling in. Rondon gets a knee-high bounce and fires on for the out. Alvaro Rondon with another good play here tonight. He has 4 assists from the shortstop position. 1 retired. Darian Sanford will step in. Darian is fly to center and bounce back to the hill. 0 for 2 for him in the game. Johnson has kept the Barnstormers in it. They need the Beeler bubble to burst at some point here. And not just pick up a base hit, but you got to follow one with another before Pete Incaviglia can get his bullpen going. To Sanford. First pitch strike out of the inside corner. It's 0-1. Rico Noel scheduled to bat next. The delivery into the dirt. Ball 1, strike 1. Is Sugar Land's pitching that good? Or are the Barnstormers just ice cold? We'll see on Tuesday, I guess. 1-1. Sanford shows bunt, draws it back, and gets ball 2 upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. The closest the Barnstormers have come to a base hit was Garcia nearly beating out a grounder last inning. Ball 3 is high. Sanford at 3-1. It was a close play at first. Rondon robbed Castile in the hole back in the 4th inning. Here comes the 3-1. Into the zone. The count fills. Beeler not conceding and giving up a walk. The Barnstormers haven't been able to solve the puzzle. Nothing hit really hard all night long. And now strike 3 is called on Sanford. He keeps his temper in check. That for Dallas Beeler, strikeout number 4. 2 are gone. And Noel will step in. Noel is bunted into an out, and he has fly to center. The Barnstormers kind of look like somebody is going to pop a cork out there tonight. We've seen Steve Johnson dismayed at a call in the bottom of the 5th. Sanford not happy with that one. Now to Noel, a swing and a miss. He goes down a strike at his 0-1. So the hopes we had at the 3-1 count on Sanford quickly get put away. Noel down a strike. Beeler back into the windup. Next pitch almost hits him. Noel spinning out of the way, but his backside almost got clipped. Ball 1, strike 1 to the Lancaster second baseman. Blake Galen on deck. He has walked and bunted into an out. 1-1 to Noel. Swings outside and low. 2 balls and a strike. Beeler gets the second strike in there. It's 2-2. Well, the fans are starting to become aware of something special possibly happening here tonight. 2-2 to Noel. Ground ball shortstop. Big hop for Rondon. He'll set and gun down another. A 1-2-3 inning, the 5th in a row for Dallas Beeler. His shortstop right now is his best friend. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Sugarland leads 2-0.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding 3rd row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL Hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Bottom of the 6th coming up. Steve Johnson will be facing Anthony Giansani, Albert Cordero, and Dennis Phipps. Steve hasn't had a 1-2-3 inning since the 1st, but he hasn't been scored on over the last 3 2/3 innings. Two-run home run by Giansani back in the 2nd. The difference in this game. Johnson has walked none. He has struck out 1. First pitch here. Missing low for a ball, 1-0. Right-hander coming back. His breaking ball is belted down the left field line, but this one foul off Giansani's bat and a 1-1 count. The Barnstormers need base runners first. They need hits. They need runs. It's becoming desperation time. To Giansani, that is pulled out the left and deep. Back on this goes Robinson. It'll be over his head and stay in the yard. Giansani racing for second base, and he's going to be in head first with a leadoff double. Anthony Giansani has been the MVP of this series for the Sugar Land Skeeters. He's in scoring position, nobody out here in the sixth. And in steps Albert Cordero. Again, Sugar Land trying to put it away. They have knocked the Barnstormers for a loop here this week. Ross Peoples, it appears, is going to have to assess everything during the Road Warriors series and make any necessary changes he feels for the second half. There's a bunt try popped up and nearly knocking a couple of birds off the top of the screen. But they must have had their talons really around that top guide wire because they held on. One strike on Cordero. Giansani, the runner at second base with nobody out. A home run and 3 doubles tonight for the Skeeters. Johnson to the set, and Cordero offers through it, 0-2. That was designed to bunt for a base hit, I do believe. Somerset is caught up a bit. 8-3 York now in the top of the 6th inning. The first run scored by the Patriots in the entire doubleheader today. 0-2 to Cordero. Johnson looks back to Giansani. The pitch cut on and missed. Steve Johnson was strikeout number 2. 1 out and a big out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dennis Phipps, the DH, will step in. Phipps has reached on a drop fly ball to right, and he has flown to right. Here comes Ross. This is the second visit. You've got a right-handed batter due up, and he's going to make a change. That will be it for Steve Johnson here tonight. I didn't have Steve for all that many pitches, but the Barnstormers are going to make a switch 5 1/3 innings in. Johnson threw 80 pitches in 5 1/3 innings here tonight. Ross is going to his pen. We're going to have the change. While we do, we'll pause for these messages.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
And you got 2 outs to grab the ticket. Get it done.
Dennis Phipps will step in against Garrett Granitz. 1 out, and Anthony Giansani at second base in the 6th inning. The move must have been pre-planned. Perhaps Johnson feeling a little fatigued in this Houston heat and humidity. The heat index here has been over 100 most days. It's been around 95 degrees with a dew point in the 70s. And the sun out when we have been here. First offering to Phipps is lined toward left center field. Sanford streaking over, and he drops the ball on a lunging try. Coming around, Giansani and Phipps into second base. We'll see how that is ruled. Darian Sanford was about halfway into a dive that maybe he didn't need to make, and it lost the grip on the baseball. It is 3-0 Sugarland. They'll give a double to Phipps, as Sanford was still pretty much on the dead run. But if you ask Darian, he feels he should have had that one. So that will close out the books tonight on Johnson. 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs. No walks and 2 strikeouts. The runs, despite the 2 errors, are all earned. And here is Rondon, the shortstop, who is 0 for 2. Granitz will miss high and inside. Ball 1 and no strikes. Garrett in for the 2nd night in a row. He threw a scoreless inning last night. Gave up 2 hits and a run in the series opener in 2 innings. A look back at the runner Phipps at second base, swinging a foul off to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rondon. Barrett Barnes is on deck. Sugarland 3, Lancaster 0. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Constellation Field tonight. Granitz looking back to Phipps. Rondon fouls another, this one into the screen. And our feathered friends are still hanging on up there. 1 and 2 to the shortstop, Rondon. Darian Sanford makes that catch when things are going better for this ball club. He'll make that catch every time. This series has gotten into the team's head. Ball 2, high and inside to Rondon. It is 2 and 2. Darian was on the run, lunging for the ball, and it came loose from his glove. But that's just a play we've seen him make over and over and over again. It's not like the ground knocked it loose. He wasn't even into a full dive. Slap to third, taken by Bortnick, who checks the runner back to second. Throw still gets Rondon on a close play, and Rondon wants to argue that one. Out 5-3. Phipps hanging on at second base. 2 men out, and the batter will be Barnes, who has doubled and stolen third. He has a fly out to right and a grounder to third. The Barnstormers trailing by 3 and still without a hit on the board. All kinds of promise in the first inning. Couple of walks given up by Beeler. He didn't seem like the same pitcher we saw here on Monday. 2 starts into this series. The Barnstormers still do not have a handle on the Sugarland right-hander. Here's the Granitz pitch to Barnes. It is high for a ball, 1-0. Garrett walked Barnes here last night. Phipps has done well off of Granitz, by the way. He had a homer off of him the other night. Barnes lines this into center field, a base hit. Sanford will charge the play. Here comes Phipps. The throw is way offline, backed up by Granitz on to second. Goes Barrett Barnes, an RBI single, and it is now a 4-0 Sugarland Skeeters lead. He goes to second on the throw. This run charged to Granitz. A first baseman, Matt Chavez, to the plate. He is 1 out of 3. And now the Barnstormers are looking at a situation. My goodness, even the birds are celebrating up there. The Barnstormers are looking at a situation now where it's almost desperation. And you're seeing it in the way they play. Chavez digging in against Granitz. 2 runs home in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Granitz deals inside, ball 1. It's 1-0. Lancaster either needs to come back and win this one or win the next 5 and get help from York. Bouncer over to third, scooping it up, charging the play is Bortnick. He'll fire on to retire Chavez and end the inning. However, it's 2 more runs, 2 big runs on 3 hits with no errors and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the 7th inning. It's all Sugarland again. Skeeters 4, Stormers nothing.
Perfect opportunity for you to take the left run.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
4 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and for Sugarland, 7 runners left on base. The Barnstormers, no runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 2 men have been stranded. Blake Galen, Ryan Castile, and Casey Hobson batting in the 7th inning for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Galen reached on a walk back in the first, tried to bunt his way on, couldn't do so in the 4th inning. And now he'll get a strike on the inside corner. It is 0-1. Dallas Beeler, for the 2nd straight time, has been unbelievable. He's actually improved, if it were possible, on that last start, except for the 2 walks in the 1st inning. Galen gets a pitch low. Ball 1, strike 1. Breaking ball high and outside to go to 2 balls and a strike. To Galen, lashed foul into the third base seats. 2-2. Can the Barnstormers pick up a base hit somewhere along the way? Sugarland has tried for the no-hitter twice before. Beeler on Monday, Coleman here on Thursday. To Galen, 2-2 pitch, taken to center. Here comes Giansani, and he'll outrun it and make the catch once again. They will not allow Beeler to give up a base hit. He's gotten the defense behind him. That is the first ball to the outfield, by the way, off the Barnstormers bat since the 3rd inning. Here is Castile. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Man, I thought Galen had a base hit there. Giansani was playing short. He ran in and snatched it about knee high. To Castile, down the right field line, slicing and just foul. 1 strike to Ryan. The Barnstormers coming very close on the first 2 batters here in the 7th inning. Castile just couldn't keep that one straightened out. It landed foul by maybe a couple of feet down the right field line. 6,157, the crowd tonight here at Constellation Field. Nothing in 1 to Castile. Line drive right at the third baseman, Kubica. 2 outs here in the 7th. Castile sank his teeth into 2 pitches from Beeler. One just foul, and the other one snagged by Kubica, who has been right there against Ryan the last couple of nights. Here is Casey Hobson. He is 0 for 2. Does Beeler pick up a second wind after this? Hobson looks at a breaking ball for a strike. It is 0-1. But very often, if you're going to throw a no-hitter, you have that one inning where you need your defense and some luck, and this 7th inning may be it for Dallas Beeler. Check swing. The pitch is low. Hobson bats at a ball and a strike. He still has 7 outs to go. One and one. Hobson tries to hold on the swing and can't. Eric Davis rings him up over at third. It is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. The windup, 1-2, sinks low. A 2-2 count now on KC. The Road Warriors are shutting out the Long Island Ducks 3-0 into the bottom of the 6th. The man throwing that shutout is former Barnstormer Michael Lee, who was with New Britain a year ago. Inside, Hobson has forced it to a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Barnstormers down by 4 here in the top of the 7th inning. The game not entirely settled, but Lancaster hasn't gotten anything started off Beeler. Ground ball to first. Chavez will take that and hustle to the bag. We're 7 innings in. The last 19 batters have been retired by Dallas Beeler. Nothing across. We're in the time for the stretch, and it is Sugarland up 4-0.
It is the voice of the Skeeters.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Tommy Shirley will work the bottom of the 7th inning as Garrett Granitz leaves. 2/3 of an inning for him, 2 hits and a run. Shirley comes on here. It's his 2nd relief outing of the week. Steve Johnson, 8 hits and 3 runs, over 5 1/3 tonight. The focus of this ball game ultimately is going to be on Dallas Beeler and whether or not he can throw the first no-hitter in the history of the Sugarland Skeeters. It's happened to the Barnstormers once before, and it happened at home. Lincoln Michelson back in 2006 for Atlantic City, and the Barnstormers have thrown one. That was also a 9-inning game. Lenny DiNardo against the Long Island Ducks in May of 13. Colin Walsh will turn around at bat right-handed against Shirley. Tommy 3-2 with a 6.8 ERA. This is his 3rd relief outing. He has started 8. The windup and his pitch to Walsh, fouled back into the net. No balls and a strike. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Barnstormers will come back home and face the Road Warriors for 4 starting Tuesday night. Remember, got a big fireworks show Wednesday. Upstairs for a ball 1 and 2. But it's beginning to look more and more like we're going to have to wait for the second half to see if the Barnstormers can get a playoff spot. And I think Lancaster will, as long as Sugar Land is the other team in the second half. You get York or Southern Maryland hot, and the Barnstormers could find themselves in the same position they were in a year ago. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count on Walsh. Shirley ready to go. Ball 2, skipping to the backstop, 2 and 2. It's 3-1 Road Warriors over Long Island at the end of 6 now. Bees are up 7-2, bottom 7 over Southern Maryland. Chopper toward third, another foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Walsh. York 8, Somerset 3. That's in the top of the 7th inning. 9-inning second game of the day-night doubleheader. A good possibility, New Britain and possibly even Long Island could be within a game and a half. Ground ball up the middle. They were playing Walsh to pull. The ball sneaking past Garcia to his left. Leadoff man aboard in the bottom of the 7th inning. Courtney Hawkins to the plate. 1 for 3 with a run scored for Hawkins here tonight. It's 11 hits to nothing tonight. And for the series, 68-32. It's been unbelievable here. And this long series can get away from you. Ground ball foul. Again, Gums with the play. Best fielding third base coach around. No balls and a strike. The count on Courtney Hawkins. Walsh, a simple just ground ball up the middle, but the Barnstormers were playing him to pull. He beat the defense. Infield set, double play depth. Hawkins batting 0-1 against Shirley, and he scalds a grounder foul. Not even Gums could get this one. It is 0-2. Robinson, Desmay, and Garcia scheduled in the 8th inning. Fastball off the plate to the inside. Shirley will work to Hawkins, 1 and 2. Now, Tommy Shirley's batting 1,000. Dug up nicely by Castile, now 2 and 2. So you could actually stick him in the lineup somewhere and see. Wow, wouldn't that be something? I'm just making up stories right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hawkins. Kyle Kibitzel, left-handed batter, waits on deck. Here's a 2-2 offering. That's beaten foul, and Hawkins will stay in there at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pace of the game has slowed down a bit as of late, too. Here's a 2-2. Ground ball to third. Bortnick has it to Noel. 1. Back to first. They turn the double play. 5-4-3. That'll pick up a couple of outs in a hurry. And Kibitzel will step in. Bortnick has really been a busy man over there tonight. That is his 7th chance. He did have a mishap on a ground ball by Chavez back in the 3rd. By and large, he's played third base pretty well here lately. Into the dirt for a ball, and that one came up and hit the arm, almost around the elbow of Ryan Castile. Ball 1, no strikes, 2 outs, nobody on, lower half of the 7th inning. Shirley's 1-0 pitch fired away. Ball 2 on deck is Giansani. He's done it all for the Sugar Land Skeeters in this series. He has just been lights out offensively and defensively. Ball 3 is outside, 3-0. And I think back when we sent Kevin Aarons down here at the beginning of last year. Sugar Land owed us a player, and I wanted Giansani so badly. Ball 4, high and outside. Kubica picks up the walk. It's the first allowed by Lancaster pitching tonight. And Giansani will come back around. He has homered and he has doubled. I figured he was the one guy out of the Northeast. Gives you a lot of versatility. He stayed down here, and he's one of the holdovers. He and Cordero, the only two position players from the Gaetti era here. A couple of pitchers, but not many. First is high, ball 1 on Giansani, as Shirley suddenly has missed with 5 in a row. Dan Runzler had been here before, Felipe Paulino. There's a strike. 1-1 now on Giansani. 4-0 Skeeters. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 outs. Kubica, the runner at first base. Tommy Shirley will bring it home. He is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Inside and low. Shirley gets the double play. He's been throwing strikes up at the last time, and now he's missed with 7 of 8. It's all a puzzle. The catcher Cordero, switch hitter, due to bat next. 3 balls, 1 strike on Giansani. Shirley will deliver, and that ball is taken down the left field line, a base hit. Around second and holding on is Kubica as Robinson got to it quickly. 3rd hit for Giansani in the game. Now 2 men on. 12 hits for Sugar Land tonight. Cordero to the plate. He is 1 for 3.
Catch number 3, Howard Cordero.
Kubica at second. Giansani at first with 2 gone. Shirley to the plate, and that ball is tagged foul down the left side. It is 0-1. Fouled in and out of a possession of Castile, but it didn't matter. 0-2 on Cordero. Phillies lead Washington 3-2, top of the 8th inning. Rockies 2, Dodgers 1 in the 7th. The Braves battering St. Louis 8-0 tonight. High for a ball, and Cordero will stand in at 1-2. Red Sox still up 6-0 over the Yankees. They're through 5 innings. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Albert Cordero. Kubica off second, Giansani off first. And Shirley breaks contact with the rubber. Barnstormers dropping down to a 5-man rotation. Shirley to the bullpen. Here's the 1-2. Foul to the screen. Nothing on the board for the Skeeters here in the 7th, but this is their longest inning at the plate so far tonight. And maybe that will affect Beeler. The Barnstormers have to hope for something. There's no way Sugar Land is going to get anybody throwing in the bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cordero swings and misses. Tommy Shirley gives up 2 singles and a walk, but is out of the inning without a scratch. 2 hits and 2 men left. The double play huge for the Barnstormers. We'll go to the 8th inning. Sugar Land leading by a score of 4-0.
You will be singing God.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Dallas Beeler to face Trayvon Robinson, Grant Desmay, and Carlos Garcia as the Barnstormers step in the top of the 8th inning. It's been a little while anyhow since Beeler last threw. He's tuning up here. Vladimir Frias heading over to coach first base. Beeler walked 2 back in the first inning. He put Galen and Castillo on with 2 outs in the inning. And since then, he has retired 19 consecutive Barnstormers batters. A couple of balls hit fairly well last inning. The Barnstormers have been close to base hits a couple of times. Giansani, a running catch coming in against Galen last inning. Castillo whistled one to the third baseman Kubica. Carlos Garcia nearly legging out a base hit to the hole at shortstop back in the 5th. Well, here is Robinson. Trayvon tonight is 0 for 2. The Barnstormers down by 4 here in the 8th inning.
And picking up for Lancaster is left fielder number 21, Trayvon Robinson.
Robinson is grounded out and he is struck out. Plenty of room up the middle for him. Beeler into the motion. Robinson drops a bunt down, and Beeler can't handle it. Trayvon Robinson dropping the bunt down, becoming a base runner to start off the 8th inning. Now the question is, will they rule that a hit or an error? Beeler did get a glove on it. Under most circumstances, that is a base hit. And there's going to be some deliberation about it. Grant Desmay will come to the plate with Robinson aboard here in the 8th inning. Desmay is 0 for 2. Pete Incaviglia is going to come out to the mound and talk to Beeler. And I wonder what might be next. Beeler is being charged with an error. They don't want the first hit of the night being on that. So Incaviglia has a quick say to Beeler. Robinson trying to break up a no-hitter with a bunt, but since Beeler got a glove on it, he gets charged with an error. And the no-hitter remains intact. The ball game's still in the balance. If it's 7-0 or 8-0, that would be almost one of those cardinal sins violating the unwritten rules of baseball. Beeler will go to work on Desmay, and time is called. I think there's some brinksmanship for the Barnstormers in this situation. There's a left-hander warming up in the bullpen now for Sugar Land. A check swing, and Desmay is ruled to have gone too far. It is 0-1. I have Beeler for 86 pitches here tonight. 1 strike to Desmay. He's broken up one of the no-hitters this week. Throw to first base, and back in is Robinson. Beeler has a great move. Just ask Darian Sanford. Sugar Land 4, Lancaster nothing. Top of the 8th, runner aboard. And another throw to first. Back in is Robinson. The set, and to Desmay, a ball into the dirt. The count is 1-1. Garcia waiting on deck, then Bortnick. Do the Barnstormers have an 8th inning rally in them? We mentioned the pace of the game is noticeably slowed down. One and one. Beeler will gun another throw to first base, and Robinson's back in. Very interested in Trayvon despite having a 4-run lead. A ball and a strike to Desmay. Here is the set. Ball 2 in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. It's getting a little interesting here in the 8th inning. Robinson with that bunt just trying to stir things up. It hadn't worked for Noel in the first. It hadn't worked for Galen in the 4th. Beeler may not have been tuned into it. He got there, dropped the ball. Robinson takes off. The pitch is high. The throw is good and gets kicked out of the glove of the second baseman, Walsh. Robinson is in at second base, 3-1 on Desmay. The throw from Cordero was right there, and Robinson's slide jarred it loose. Lancaster getting a runner into scoring position here in the 8th inning. It is 3-1 on Grant Desmay. Pete Incaviglia does have the left-hander warming up in the bullpen. Here's the 3-1. Desmay takes the second strike. It is 3-2. Beeler has gone to more 3-ball counts tonight than he did on Monday. But since the first inning, he hasn't actually walked anybody. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Robinson leads off second. Beeler comes set to Desmay. Fly ball right field. This one travels some. Back on it is Barnes. He'll make the catch. Robinson is bolting ahead to third, and he makes it well ahead of the throw. Desmay flying out. Carlos Garcia, the battery, is 0 for 2. Robinson doing his level best to make sure it is not a no-hit, no-run game. And it'll take Garcia to either hit a ground ball toward the middle or a fly ball to get the run home. Tyler Bortnick waiting on deck. Beeler is 5 outs away. 7 1/3 innings into a no-hit bid. Robinson at third with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Now those 2 runs in the 6th look huge. Beeler to Garcia. Outside a ball, 1-0. Tyler Bortnick waiting on deck. I don't know that we would see the left-hander for a while, not maybe until Galen, but he's ready to go, or should be. 1 ball, no strikes to Garcia. Breaking ball loops back to the outside corner. It's 1-1. Sugarland 4, Lancaster nothing, 8th inning. Here's the 1-1. Ball 2 is inside and low. Tying run still a ways away. The Barnstormers need to add some base runners here. To Garcia. He'll look at a second strike. The count is 2-2. Robinson up the line from third base. Looking for a ride home here. 2-2 to Garcia. Swing and a miss. The ball is in the dirt. The throw's got to go down to first base. They get Carlos 2-3. 5th strikeout for Beeler. Still no hit for the Barnstormers, and it'll take one to score Robinson. Bortnick will step in. He is 0 for 2. Dallas Beeler with his second great start in this series. He made the error himself here in the 8th inning. The only blemish since the first. Bortnick stands in, 2 outs, runner at third. The pitch to Tyler, ground ball, third base, bobbled for a second by Kubica, but he keeps it in front, and Beeler is through 8. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and a runner left on base will go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Sugarland continues to lead 4-0.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Scott Schumann is going to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning because he needs the work. He has not thrown here since the Tuesday night ball game. He gave up 1 hit, struck out 2 there. Schumann's numbers for the season are quite impressive. 2-0 with a 1.06 ERA. He's given up runs in only 1 appearance, and it was a while ago. 9 hits, 2 runs in 17 innings with 6 walks and 30 strikeouts. He'll be facing Phipps, Rendon, and Barnes here in the bottom of the 8th, and then Lancaster gets the top of the order up in the 9th inning. Does Beeler get to keep it going? 4-0. Sugarland leading. The Barnstormers do not have a base hit off the Sugarland right-hander. Phipps will start the inning off. He is 1 for 3, a double and a run batted in. And there's where the Barnstormers just aren't the Barnstormers in this series in so many ways. The 2 runs that scored back in the 6th inning, keyed by the Phipps double, don't score if Darian Sanford hangs on to a ball on a semi-diving tryout in left center field. It's a play Darian makes all the time, but everything, when you're tight and desperate, things just don't flow very smoothly, and Sanford dropped that ball. Pulled foul on the ground, a strike on Phipps. It went down as a double for Phipps, and I think rightfully so, but Sanford generally will make that play. Schumann comes back at 0-1 and throws one to the backstop on a hop. Ball 1, strike 1. The York lead over Somerset 8-3 in the bottom of the 8th. The Road Warriors are up 5-1 over Long Island in the top of the 8th, and in the 9th, New Britain leads Southern Maryland 7-2. The Bees could be a game and a half out with just a handful to go. Swing and a miss. Schumann's ahead of Phipps 1-2. Somerset would have 5 left coming out of play tonight. New Britain 4. And Long Island's not entirely out of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Schumann to the plate. Phipps tries to hold on the swing and does. Ball 2 and 2 strikes. Schumann almost had him fishing for one in the dirt. Phipps covers most of the batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schumann to the plate. This is also low and a full count now, 3-2. Scott Schumann ready with the payoff, and he walks the leadoff batter. Well, this was the 5th reliever to do it in the last 2 nights. Phipps aboard on the leadoff free pass. That'll bring on Alvaro Rondon, who is 0 for 3. He has grounded out twice and popped the first. New Britain has won. The Bees have done their part. They're 30-29. Infield set up, double play depth here. Schumann will go to work on Rondon. First pitch is low, ball 1. Scott Schumann out of rhythm tonight. All 3 relievers have allowed the first runner. They have the first batter they've faced to reach base. Swing and a miss. Fastball past Rondon. It's 1-1. A double off Granite's, a single off Shirley. And Schumann giving up the walk to start off the 8th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Schumann to the set and to Rondon. Fouled at the plate. It ends up rolling along Rondon's right arm. Ball popped up, started on his shoulder, it ran down the arm for a while, almost to the elbow. 1-2 to the shortstop. He's had an up and down series here this week. He is 6 out of 20, but had 4 hits in the first game. 1-2, Schumann to the plate, and it's punched foul out of play. Scott again coming with a fastball. Here's the 1-2 from Schumann, swing and a miss at the high heater. And Scott records his 31st strikeout of the year. 1 out. Barrett Barnes to the plate. He is 2 for 4 with a run batted in. Also has a stolen base tonight. 12-0 in the hit column tonight. 4-0 in the runs column. Sanford, Noel, and Galen in the 9th inning. The scheduled hitters for the Barnstormers trying to get something going finally tonight. First pitch fastball in for a called strike. It is 0-1 on Barnes. Lancaster's already been shut out once this series. on 2 hits. That was 2 nights ago. Last night, they had a 2-run, 3-hit first inning off Ben Grisette, and not much more after that. Outside, well out of the zone, 1-1 on Barnes. Phipps the base runner with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Defense turned a double play last inning. Schumann at 1-1. Slider back to the inner edge. Great looking pitch from Scott there. It's 1-2. New Britain knows all about what can happen on the trip to Sugar Land. This half started off with the Skeeters running the table on the Bees. It's the reason the Bees have had such a long climb back. Strike 3 called. Barnes goes down looking. 2 outs, and Chavez will come to the plate. 1 out of 4. So the home schedule for the Skeeters starts by taking all 6 against New Britain and is ending with not a sweep of the Barnstormers, but a pretty dominating performance in this week-long series. Matt Chavez digging in against Scott Schumann. 2 outs and a runner at first base here in the bottom of the 8th. Chavez has pulled everything tonight, swinging a foul back to the screen. It's 0-1. Just when you think you've got this guy figured out, earlier in the series, it was up the middle and into right. 1 strike from Schumann. Scott has challenged me to some extent. Strike 2 called. It is 0-2. I think he's afraid I'm going to drop dead at some point. So he's trying to get me to walk and run and all this stuff, which I do anyway. He doesn't see it. I walk everywhere. Check swing and a foul. Fastball in on the wrists. God just doesn't see it. So today I took off and kept walking the lap around the ballpark. He got a kick out of it. 2 strikes to Chavez. Phipps the runner at first base here in the 8th inning. 2 men out. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bounded foul to the third base side. Chavez, such a difficult out. Still 0-2. And the left-hander is throwing in the bullpen for the Sugar Land Skeeters. So Beeler may not get to complete the no-hitter after all. They may turn it over to the pen. It's the way things look anyhow. 0-2, still to Chavez. Schumann ready to go. And his pitch hit in the air to right field. Down the line, Desmay into foul territory, slides and ran unable to make the play in foul territory. Getting pretty close to the barrier. Still 0-2. The one Barnstormer who would have stayed on his feet on a play like that, and we saw him do it, was Brett Carroll. Carroll could have knocked out the wall. I was always afraid that might happen. We've had a lot of big, strong guys, obviously, over the years. I'm not sure anybody was stronger than he was. Just in that compact type build. Ryan Harvey obviously had more power. And I suppose that Cole Garner ultimately was a stronger guy, and maybe Sean Halton. 2 strikes. Schumann back to work. High. Finally wasting 1. It is 1-2 on Chavez. Schumann's had to throw his fair share of pitches in this 8th inning. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Chavez bats 1-2. Colin Walsh, who has 3 hits in the game tonight, waits on deck. Here's the motion, 1-2, swung on and missed. A slider from Schumann. So after the leadoff walk, Scott comes on and strikes out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. Now we'll go to the 9th inning. Will it be Dallas Beeler coming out, or are we going to have a change? And we're going to have the change. It'll be a combined no-hitter if it happens through 8. It is 4-0 Sugar Land.
I'm a chef. Pleasing my patrons' palates is paradise. But lately, when I hear a cheer from the dining room, it's Keno from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Sure, it could be my veggie lasagna, but chances are it's customers picking numbers to win cash with drawings every 4 minutes. Keno's fun, exciting, and you can enjoy it as an appetizer or a main course. Hey, everything tastes better with winning. Keno, it's here. Played at your favorite bar or restaurant.
Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
They want you to sell them your car, even if you don't want to buy theirs. Get all the details on the web.
Dallas Beeler has been lifted after 8 innings with a no-hitter. I think part of the reason I think Pete Incaviglia is making the right move here is that Beeler is coming off a season that he missed the entire year with surgery, and you don't want to overextend him. 96 pitches, and that's going to be it. Craig Sitton taking over here in the 9th inning. The Barnstormers have seen an awful lot of this lefty in this series. Sitton, slender 6'5" lefty from Oregon. Darian Sanford will turn around to bat right-handed against him. Rico Noel and Blake Galen will follow. The Barnstormers have had 3 base runners, 2 walks, and Trayvon Robinson reaching on an error on his bunt back in the 8th inning. Sitton to Sanford. Darian taps a foul at the plate. It is 0-1. Craig Sitton 1-0 with a 4.45 ERA and 25 appearances. One of just a handful of pitchers on this staff that hasn't made it to the major leagues. He was in AAA with the San Francisco Giants at Sacramento last year. Breaking ball to Sanford. It's 0-2 as he looks at the pitch on the inside corner. Sitting ready to go. And to Sanford, swung on and missed. That's 1 down here in the 9th inning. Rico Noel to the plate. He is 0 for 3. The Barnstormers, quite obviously, are a frustrated lot. It's been almost a horrifying week. Sugar Land has had its way in 5 out of the 6 games. One out, and here is Rico. Jansani shallow in center field. The pitch to Noel. Ground ball to the hole at shortstop. Diving stop. Rondon. The throw will be late, and Noel is breaking up the no-hitter. Rondon did everything he could, but it was the wrong guy batting. A sensational stop in the hole for Alvaro Rondon. But Rico Noel beats it out, and the Barnstormers have their first hit of the night. Blake Galen will step in. He'll try to add another. Galen is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight, And again, robbed by Giansani back in the 7th inning. Blake needs to hit the ball somewhere else. Giansani has made 3 outstanding plays, and that last one a very good one against Galen in this series. Runner at first base is Noel with 1 out. Breaking ball back to the zone. A called strike. It is 0-1. Ryan Castile, the catcher, is due next. If the Barnstormers do not rally in this 9th inning, they cannot afford to lose again this half, and they still would need help. Chopper to third. Could be a double play to end it. To second for 1. Walsh back to first. The double play. The Barnstormers are shut out on 1 hit here tonight. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. The Barnstormers are now on the verge of being eliminated from the Freedom Division in the first half. We'll be back with the line totals on tonight's game in just a moment. Our final score, the Sugarland Skeeters 4 and the Lancaster Barnstormers nothing. Well, back with you from Constellation Field. The Lancaster Barnstormers fall 4-0 tonight, and they have just run into unbelievable pitching throughout the course of this week. The Barnstormers staff did overall a nice job tonight, but the offense was overwhelmed by Dallas Beeler for the 2nd time in this series. Casey Coleman also shutting down the Barnstormers in his 1 start. The final line totals for tonight's game: Sugarland 4 runs, 12 hits with 1 error, 10 men left on base. For the Barnstormers, no runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, and 3 men stranded. Beeler gets the win, 8 no-hit innings. He is 6-1. The loss to Steve Johnson, who pitched pretty well, I thought, here tonight. He falls to 3-4. The home run in the game, Anthony Giansani, 3 more hits for him here tonight. A single, a double, and the 2-run home run in the 2nd inning, his 9th of the season. 2 hours, 28 minutes, the time of game, 61:57 here at Constellation Field. The Sugarland Skeeters with a win here tomorrow night will wrap up the first half title in the Freedom Division, and the Barnstormers once again will have to wait until the second half. Lancaster has not won the first half in the Freedom Division since all the way back in 2012. We'll have a wrap-up show coming your way next. Our final score this evening, the Sugarland Skeeters 4, the Lancaster Barnstormers nothing.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine.
Well, I apologize. The device I used to play the spots has run out of juice here tonight. Anyway, the Lancaster Barnstormers fall 4-0 to the Sugarland Skeeters. The Barnstormers with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning break up the no-hit bid as Rico Noel singles into the hole at shortstop, but that would be it. Blake Galen grounds into a double play to end the night. The Skeeters victorious 4-0, and for the Lancaster Barnstormers, a desperate situation. They've got to win every game remaining This is how bad it is. The Barnstormers need to win their last 5 here in the first half and also have York win 2 out of 3 against the Road Warriors, against Sugar Land during the week, with the Barnstormers sweeping the Road Warriors. That is the point that we have reached. The Barnstormers will need to win tomorrow, or Sugar Land will celebrate in front of our ball club, and that will be the 3rd straight half that has happened. The Barnstormers go on the road, a chance to win the half, and lose and watch the other team celebrate. So it is definitely, without question, a tough week for this Barnstormers ball club. The game tonight, Sugar Land winning 4-0. Anthony Giansanti, a 2-run home run in the 2nd, and then in the 6th inning, doubles by Giansanti, and Dennis Phipps, an RBI single for Barrett Barnes. Those were the runs tonight for the Sugar Land Skeeters. The true story, though, Dallas Beeler, who didn't look as sharp early as he did the other night. He walked Galen and Castile back-to-back in the first inning, got out of it as Casey Hobson flied to left, and then Beeler ran the table. The only base runner that Lancaster had for the next 7 innings was Trayvon Robinson, who bunted back to Beeler. Beeler fumbled it, and Robinson reached safely, leading off the 8th inning. He would get as far as third base, but would not score. Noel, against reliever Craig Sitton, reaches on the infield base hit in the 9th inning to break up the no-hitter. But now over the last 3 games, the Barnstormers, who had not had fewer than 4 hits in a game up until the last week, have been 1 hit and 2 hit. They only had 3 hits against the Long Island Ducks on Sunday afternoon. Somewhere there is an answer to this team-wide batting slump. 2 hours, 28 minutes, as I mentioned, 61-57 here tonight at Constellation Field. We'll take a look at the other action around the Atlantic League. The finals are starting to come in. The New Britain Bees beat the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 7-2. The other games are into the 9th inning. And now a final. York, after scoring 6 in the 3rd, has defeated the Somerset Patriots 9-3 in the 2nd game of a doubleheader after winning 4-0 in game 1. And the Road Warriors against the Long Island Ducks. They are in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And just starting that bottom of the 9th, the Road Warriors with a 5-1 lead. We'll try and get back to that if we can. But right now, New Britain has pulled to within a game and a half of the Somerset Patriots. That is actually the close race now in the Atlantic League. Sugar Land 2.5 up on the Barnstormers after winning the last 4 games here at Constellation Field. On the Major League scoreboard, the Phillies hold off the Washington Nationals this evening by a final score of 3-2. They're in the 9th inning at L.A. The Rockies leading the Dodgers 3-1. Atlanta pasting the Cardinals tonight. It is 10-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Red Sox trying to retake first place in the AL East, own a 9-0 lead at Yankee Stadium. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Earlier, Toronto with a 4-3 win at home against Detroit. The Cubs outslugged Minnesota at Wrigley 14-9. The LA Angels defeating the Baltimore Orioles 6-2 at Camden Yards. The Orioles slide to 23-59 on the year. Oakland 7-2 over Cleveland. The Cincinnati Reds beat up on Milwaukee today, 12-3 the final score. Tampa Bay over Houston 5-2. The Miami Marlins beat the Mets 5-2. Tonight in the 2nd inning, the White Sox are up 2-0 over the Rangers. Later on, it is San Francisco at Arizona, Pittsburgh at San Diego, Kansas City at Seattle. The Barnstormers have 1 shot at staying alive tomorrow. They'll send Brooks Hall to the mound. Hall is 5-2 on the season. Connor Wade, 3-1, will counter for the Sugar Land Skeeters. The Lancaster Barnstormers have dropped the last 4 here at Sugar Land's Constellation Field. They haven't been in too many of those games over these last 4. The Barnstormers have been outscored 22-5. The only game that was contested was last night's when the Barnstormers gave up 5 in the bottom of the 8th to lose by a 9-4 final. That's the situation facing this ball club right now. It's kind of sad when you consider that the Barnstormers at one point had a 5-game lead in the division with a record of 28-11. The Barnstormers now have dropped 12 out of the last 19 ball games. So tomorrow night, we'll join you from Constellation Field, 6:45 Eastern Time, with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. We'll have Ross Peoples with us at that point. So until then, for all the cast and crew back at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.